Let me know where you guys are coming from. Let me know how everyone's doing. It is my Tuesday morning at 6:30 a.m. By the time I'm going live right now, I had a client at 5 a.m. He lives in the US, so it was his 3 p.m. And then a client from London at 5:45 a.m. Online sort of training sort of stuff. So I'm ready to go. It's 6:30 my time. I'm going to stay on for about an hour. We have a lot to talk about. I love these Japanese cards. There's 3 world title fights tomorrow in Japan. And these divisions are all electricity. These divisions are instant action. When I have new clients or when I meet new people who ask me about boxing and they say, what fights should I watch? What fighters should I watch? I always look at the schedule and I see if there's a Japanese card. And I send them that way. So as you guys are tapping in, if we had a great weekend. Look, we've had a great month. Ever since we started this whole journey together doing the live streams, we're locked and loaded. This is fun. I take it personal when we lose. And, you know, we have to talk about when we win. The only fight I lost was a draw. But a lot of you Americans, your draw doesn't lose. So let's look ahead. I uploaded my breakdown of Higa versus Antonio Vargas last night. It's on the channel. So if you guys are only watching my live streams, go to my playlist section, find fight predictions, and those are the edited, produced, breakdown analysis, prediction videos. And I was torn on it, guys. I've been talking about Antonio Vargas for the last year. You know what I mean? He, on my channel at least, I've known who he was. You know, he had a good amateur career. And it was tough for me to go the route that I'm going in tomorrow night's fight. So I just got to also make an asterisk. So if you are new to my channel, you understand I sometimes will bet against my favorite fighters. So, and if you are new, if you've been on my channel, you know what I'm about to say. My father always said, Johnny, bet with your wallet, not with your heart. After breaking all the tape down, after really sitting with the stylistic matchup of Higa versus Vargas, you know, both of their journeys to get here. With Higa, it's kind of one of these things that, you know, you keep chipping away, and things don't always have to go your way in the record book, in the win column, for you to get big opportunities. He hasn't won a fight since 2023. He's coming off a draw, he's coming off a loss, but it's the way he fights. It's the spirit of how he fights with, and he's fighting for a world title at 118. He's never won one at 18. He's won one at 15 before. And he's a front foot fighter. The guy, he's high work rate, a lot of volume. He wants to put his head on his opponent's chest and throw these hooks, like literally here. It's just like, mate, his style is like one of those. When I was a kid, we had this toy called Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And, you know, it sounds a lot cooler than what it really was. But that's kind of the thing. The two toys would fight each other, and they just, you know, would punch like that. And with Vargas, you have a guy who's also a front foot fighter. Now, the problem with Vargas is the fact that when you look at the 3 losses of Higa, he got stopped once, and when he got outpointed, when he lost on the cards, he got lost to southpaws who actually were on their back foot, picking that style apart. And that's not what Vargas does. It was really hard for me to get past that knockout. Now, I know it was 6 years ago. Yeah, Vargas, it just comes down to Vargas's durability on my side. Like I said, I'm an Antonio Vargas fan. The style with Higa is it's just the style in my eyes of what you know. Watching both guys, I think that style is going to give Vargas trouble. So on the money line, I have Higa. We're going to wait until these knockdown prop bets open up. We're going to wait to see if we get the props on over-unders. Will the fight go the distance? If anything, if you're torn on picking a winner there, there's a knock. I mean, we'll look at the knockdown props. We should get those by tomorrow. Moving forward, I've seen a lot of you guys talking about Kenshiro versus Sandoval. Guys, I'm torn on this fight. Kenshiro versus Sandoval. A lot of you guys have Kenshiro in your top pound-for-pound list, in your top 10. And that may be the case. But Sandoval's a dog, man. Sandoval, you know, Kenshiro's already 33 years old. Sandoval's 26. Sandoval could crack. Like, he's a huge underdog. I mean, now he's about a 4-1 dog. I'm uploading my Sandoval and Kenshiro breakdown today, but that's a tough one. These fights in Japan are going to be fun. So if anything, we're gonna have a lot of fun tomorrow night watching the fights. I'm gonna be live streaming for it. I'm gonna go live one more time today, and I'm uploading my Sandoval Kenshiro breakdown and Eric Rosa as well. I'm gonna upload the the little mini Pac-Man versus Yosuke. So we have a lot to talk about. There's breaking news you guys have been talking about on the chat. Josh Kelly been offered a fight. I mean, I've seen rumors that he's been offered a fight, and we'll see if he takes it. Are you referring to the Josh Kelly versus Boots? Is that the fight you're referring to, or are you talking about something else? I forgot who talked about it. I saw it in the comments, but there's that to talk about. I mean, also moving forward past Wednesday, we have an interesting matchup, Oscar Duarte versus Kenneth Sims Jr. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Sims Jr., and that's going to be a tough one to break down. You know, I think there's a lot of recency bias in terms of Duarte. I'll watch Higa fall face first without getting caught. He definitely can. Yeah, they both can, though. So to push back on Fat Guy Lil Coat, I watched Higa fall face first in his last fight, getting caught. He definitely get chin checked. Antonio Vargas has been dropped multiple times. Antonio Vargas was buzzed. 29. One of the worst knockouts you ever see was Antonio Vargas. One-punch knockout. It was 6 years ago. He was young. It was in his hometown. One-punch knockout, first round. It was brutal. So, I mean, it's going to come down to durability. I talked about this in my breakdown. It's going to come down to durability. I think the volume and output on Higa is going to favor his style. We'll see. Josh Edwards, GOAT. So the big American heavyweight. I think 3-4-0, 4 stoppages. Keep our eyes open for Josh Edwards. Yeah, these fights are going to be a slugfest, boys. Boxing fan, appreciate you. Let's hit the target of 10 shout-outs. Thanks for supporting the cause, Boxing fan. I appreciate you guys. Wherever you are, like this video, however you can support the cause. If you haven't already, if you've noticed the boys with the blue stars, that's how you get access to the Discord. Join our Boxing Insider group on YouTube. You get a bunch of props on YouTube, but you also get access to our Discord, and that link is pinned in the comment section below. Not expensive, couple bucks a month. You not only support the YouTube channel growth, but you get access to all the boxing minds in that Discord. Chilltown's in there, Muscle Brown's in there. I don't have to mediate it, but you could private message me. We put our parlays up there. We have an MMA Discord in there. We have a boxing Discord in there. There's some UFC fights this weekend. I'm going to wait till the end of the week to get to the UFC guys, because I know some of you boys are interested in both, and it's kind of my wheelhouse as well. The last 3 weeks on the UFC side of things, I missed one upset of the week. You know, I hit on RDR, but I missed on McGee. But moving forward, we got a lot to talk about. Let's stay focused on Wednesday, because like we talked about, the 3 world title fights are all intriguing. The odds are intriguing. I think some of the odds don't make sense to me. Some of the odds are wide. Eric's Rosa right now is a 5-1 dog. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so Jazz. I talked about this before the fight. Jazz is talking about Francisco Rodriguez Jr. popping before the fight against Golovkin. I brought that up on my channel. I said if you go to BoxRec and look at Francisco Rodriguez Jr., the fight before Golovkin, he fought in Texas. It was an 8-rounder. He won the fight, but then it was overturned. You never see fighters who win the fight and it gets overturned to a no contest, no decision. Usually it happens when a fighter loses the fight, unless ... they pop. So, and nobody wrote anything about it. We kind of knew about that. Nazo, what's up, guys, as you're checking in? And let's get this money. You know, we've been hitting good. Whether you're into boxing betting for entertainment purposes, whether you're making a living off of it, you're in the right spot. You know, we got both here. Whether you're learning about boxing, whether you want to just learn about the sport, or you're a true blue boxing fan like myself, you're in the right spot. You don't have to worry about casuals on the channel. They get weeded out pretty quickly throughout the live chat. So we respect everybody's opinion. We don't always have to agree on everything. And you know, we got a lot of action in front of us. Like I said, Japan's going to be fun. I'll be doing a live stream. It's tomorrow night, Wednesday night here in Australia. And so we got a lot to look forward to. Today I'm going to be uploading my breakdown prediction of Rosa versus Yosuke, and then Kenshiro versus Sandoval. What's up, Gary Austin? Welcome to the team, brother. What's up, Double Shot of Wisdom? Antonio Vargas. What's up, Double Shot Vargas, one of my favorite fighters. Double Shot of Wisdom's in the house. This is Antonio Vargas' friend Howard. We're doing great. I know, mate. Vargas is one of my favorite fighters. Like, put it this way: if Vargas, if his durability holds up, he wins. But it's that style, man. Maybe I'm overthinking the tape too much. Higa, and you know, they literally have. They're going to be doing, you know, exactly what each guy's going to know what the other guy wants to do, right? And when I was breaking down Nonito Donaire versus Campos, and I was talking about, even though Campos was, you know, pretty much an unknown Argentinian fighter, Donaire was 42 coming back, and that was pretty much a title eliminator. I was talking about Antonio Vargas. I was like, Donaire's camp, even if Donaire beats Campos, Donaire has a hill to climb because he'll probably get matched up against Antonio Vargas, who's a nightmare to fight. And now we have Vargas versus Higa. Double Shot of Wisdom in the house. Dude, I love the insights, brother. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the input as well. Julius says, my lock for Wednesday is Sandoval versus Kenshiro, no distance. Julius, these props are great. The props are great. PJ, Vargas is good everywhere. So when you say, is Vargas a mover, I don't want to just isolate him as being a mover. Vargas is good everywhere. He's solid everywhere. I mean, if you're nitpicking weaknesses, you're just going to talk about his one loss. You're going to talk about, and I don't want to call it fluky. They were in the middle of the ring. It was a backhand he just didn't see. Sometimes, you know, you get either off angled, and the camera angle that you find on YouTube, it's from Antonio's back. So I couldn't find any other angle either because, you know, how it was filmed, the camera angle is from Antonio's back, and his opponent they're just kind of sitting there in front of each other, and his opponent kind of feints, but not really, and just Vargas is standing still and just gets hit with a straight right. Didn't even see it. Sometimes things like that happen, and it was a bad knockout, but that was 6 years ago. He was young. You know, hasn't lost since, won 10 fights in a row since. I think either 6 of his last 7 are by knockout, and he's a world champion. He's a 118-pound world champion. We have Higa, who's a former world champion at 115. He's had a couple opportunities at 18, but he's fallen short. Itama already cooking up some easy money on a parlay. Yeah, look at the boys thinking ahead. We got Goat in the house. Jazz. Dave Allen is fighting Makhmudov. That's a Maurice L in the house. Yeah, the chat's cooking. As you boys are tapping in and kind of getting your questions in and kind of feeling your parlays out, all the Blue Star insiders, make sure you guys have access to the Discord. The boys who want to join the Discord, that link is in the comment section below. Like this video. We're flirting between 30 and 50 in the live stream. We only have 13 of you liking this. Just like it. It helps the channel out. You guys know the deal. Goat. I'm going to be releasing my locks tomorrow. I'm going to wait till tomorrow morning because I have to see what the props are, the over and unders. But the Japanese fights, man, I don't want to jinx anything, but you know, when Sugar Nunes came into Japan, we won a lot of money on that fight, the whole card. When Brian Norman Jr. came into Japan, we won a lot of money on that card. That's DJ. That's really going to be the narrative. It's going to come down to durability. Boxing fan in the house. I got long parlay stretch from last. See, that's patience, my friend. Patience is a virtue with this game. Upset of the month. Goodman decision. Julius Armstrong. I'm high on Sam Goodman. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We talked about it last week. Styles do make fights. The fight's at 126. Goodman's undefeated at 22. Goodman had a pairing with Naoya Inoue for a reason. I've seen Goodman his last 5 fights in Sydney. I've seen him multiple times. He is a smooth operator. He knows what he's doing in there. He uses the whole ring. Doesn't have one-punch knockout power. But in terms of Nick Ball and his style, mate, I like Goodman in that as well. Are you getting the betting odds of Mason versus Parker? I'm not sure. Is there Aussie fights tomorrow night, Mason? This is insane. Did you just make my day? Because you know we eat in Australia. We ate last week at the rugby fights, and we ate at the Sam Goodman Cesar Vaca fight. My boy hit 22K on my picks. So there's a card. I thought that was just a weigh-in or a media day. Is the John Parker fight card tomorrow, or is that a media day? I'd have to look. I'm not getting odds on it. Okay, I'll look into that, Mason. I'll put it in the Discord. I see you're an insider. So I'll put whatever I can find on Australia's card. I'll put it on the Discord. Yeah, Higa lost his last. Well, like we said, Pitbull. Higa hasn't won a fight since 2023. Vargas over 0.5 knockdowns. Mar the Prince, Ohio in the house. Both Vargas and his opponents have been down. Yeah. And if we're trying to get fancy with Vargas and Higa, you really have to pay attention to how they both fight. And then you start really understanding what to expect. Front foot guys. Unless Higa shows up and he just is old on Wednesday night, he's going to outwork Vargas in terms of volume. It's his volume, pace. Now, they're going to be slugging it out. On my channel, I had to pick a winner on the money line on the Stats Don't Lie upload. But I'm probably, like, in general, I'm going to go heavy on a prop bet. I'll do a long parlay, like always, but I'll go heavy on a prop. Yeah, Rosa, Rosa, 2 amateur fights or something? And he has, like, 10 pro fights? I don't know much about Rosa. I know about the hype. Whenever you call yourself Mini Pac-Man. Goku's son, what are you saying? Both suck. Goku, I remember you from last week, Goku. You dropped some hot takes. And you better drop some evidence on your logical reasoning for they both suck. Who were you talking about, though? To the Aussie who's in the house, Bet365, what odds are you getting on the Mason card? You think Higa and Antonio Vargas both suck? Okay, mate. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to you, bro. I'll let the chat answer that. That's insane. You've never been punched in the mouth before, have you? And to even say that comment, yeah, he's trolling. What's up, Bomber Quinn? What's good? We did say Ennis not to go the distance right there. No, not to go the distance. We picked Zayas on the money line in the fight to go the distance. We hit on that. Why would you say that Antonio Vargas sucks? Or a world champion sucks? I don't understand the comment. I would not bet on 2 guys I can't tell apart because they're so bad. Yeah, I don't know, man. I disagree with you. I like watching Vargas fight. He's one of my favorite fighters. Any human who wakes up, any boy who turns into a man and devotes his life to a craft, a martial art like boxing, and then goes after it, and then has, these ebbs and flows in life, and then becomes a world champion, to say that they suck is insane. So I know guys who are, craftsmen in Sydney, and that I box with, I wouldn't say they suck. Yeah, so I just don't understand your language. Okay, Goku. You lost me, mate. Kiza, why? Just watching the stylistic matchup. Just the stylistic matchup and durability. Watching. They're both going to be on their front foot. They're both going to apply pressure. Higa's work rate is higher and his volume is higher than Vargas. And Vargas has shown signs. I mean, he's been dropped before, and I wasn't buying into it until I watched the fights, more and more of the fights. I like Sandoval. Nice gas fill. I definitely like the fight not to go the distance. I think Higa versus Vargas, somebody gets stopped. I think in the Sandoval fight, there's going to be knockdowns. I think there's going to be knockdowns. I think if you guys are kind of iffy on who to pick a winner, I think the game and the play is going to be knockdown props over unders. Boots Josh Kelly. I mean, I hope they make that official. I think a lot of American fight fans are sleeping on Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly can box. He poses a very interesting puzzle to solve. I mean, Kelly's only blemishes, he had a draw against Ray Robinson. Kelly fought once in America. You know, he obviously storied amateur career out of the UK. Fun style, very fun style. He drew against Ray Robinson, and then he lost against Avanesian. And the Avanesian loss was more of a learning moment in terms of, you know, being more efficient with his style, his pace, his cardio, because Kelly was winning that fight. Kelly could box. He's one of my favorite boxers to watch, and Boots is one of my favorite boxers to watch. I'm not going to lie, dude. I don't know the odds, and that's not official, but Kelly's going to be the bigger dude in there. Daniel Vega, what's up, brother? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the support. Boxing Insider, taking care of the channel. I see you in the Discord as well. Sandoval throws bombs a lot, so you can show knockout. Dude, that was one of my favorite wins, Conchero, when he beat Olasquaga. Conchero's 33, guys. Just because you're English doesn't see Kelly. He's not that good. He's a front runner who fades late. Gets caught the type of. We'll see what happens. I'm just saying. We'll see. We'll see. Goku, I get the point. You don't like Josh Kelly. All right, you don't like Josh Kelly. I get it. And you think that Antonio Vargas is a bum. You think Higa's a bum as well. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a more interesting fight in terms of what Boots is going to have to answer to. I mean, he's not going to have Emmanuel Stanionis being flat-footed, coming straight at him, throwing shots. Goat, you know, Good got Good got banned, by the way. I think this is good. Goku is good, isn't he? Goku is good. Yeah, Olasquaga's an animal. He's fun to watch. That's why I was impressed with him losing that fight. Yeah, Boots is a beast. I love Salami and Cavill. It was getting racial. I didn't ban him. YouTube did. Would Nikita Zoo have a chance against... Oh, what's up, guys? Would Nikita Zoo... Nah, guys, Nikita's super green. He's fun. Nikita's super green. He's fun, but, dude, Seb is polished. You know, Nikita's kind of cut his teeth domestically on the Aussie scene. He's fun to watch. You know what I mean? I like Nikita. He's, you know, coming off of surgery. He's supposed to have a fight soon. Yeah, Tim's the better Zoo, by the way, boxing-wise. Nikita gets hit so much. David Eister, I'm Italian. My mother is from Italy, so I grew up with, like, you know, Capicola, Gabagool. I got Regis stopping JoJo. I'm not too hype on that fight, though, Julius. I think Boots... Guys, if you remember 2 years ago, I did a video on the thing that was holding Boots back was his lack of promotion. He needs a promoter. And then when he signed with Matchroom, look what Eddie's already done. Eddie already brought multiple shows to Philly. You know, before Eddie, nobody was coming to Philly and building cards around Boots. Boots got to put his boys on that card, you know, at multiple different times. Boots had a couple, you know, did what Boots does, really good performances. I think it's a great sign for him, actually. So I want to see, also in terms of, because I'm a Boots fan, I think it's a great move to take Kelly next. All I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm picking Kelly to win, but that's a tough fight, and it's a good name. Kelly has a big following online. People know who he is, and those are really two fun styles. So like outside of what I do online, I'm a coach, and some of my favorite styles, and I started boxing when I was 7, so I like when fighters have unique styles. Prince Nassim Ahmed, loved his style. Emmanuel Augustus, loved his style. Super unique. Roy Jones, loved his style. I also like technicians. So like Pernell Whitaker, loved his style. Floyd Mayweather. But when you see styles like Jaron Ennis, unique. There's only, when you could watch a silhouette of Jaron shadowboxing, you'll know it's Jaron Ennis. You could see a silhouette of PBK shadowboxing, you'll know it's Kelly. That's what I mean. Very unique styles, very fun fight. Like, I hope that takes place. I'm probably, I don't know. Nobody hits 100%. But I think last week I lost on a draw and I lost on an upset of the week with, I went 50% the UFC. If that fight it out. Oscar Duarte. That's a fun one to break down, Julius. Duarte versus Kenny Sibbs. It's a fun one to break down. Duarte's just looked like an animal since the loss to Ryan Garcia. Boots beats everyone at 54. He might. I don't know. That's why we love the sport, though. You know, if we knew that for sure, why would we watch? And I don't live my life in absolutes. So the idea to say anything in absolutes, for me, it kind of just goes against my own moral. I like the unknowns. He beats everyone at 54? I don't know. Maybe. There's some tough guys at 54. I know Eister doesn't like 54. 54 is one of my favorite divisions. 54 is great. You know, we have to see Boots in there with a couple different styles. We have to see him, you know, somebody who's going to stand, you know, not just stand in front of him and try to, you know, Stanionis him. There's some good matchups to make. Am I happy he went up to 54? 100%. There's just a lot of marketable names there at 54, a lot of good names, a lot of good matchups. I'm still not 100% convinced on Murtazaev. I'm not sold on him. People love Murtazaev for that zoo performance, but I need to see more of him. Obviously, he's a beast. I think Taraji, bro, I'm glad you said it. Mar the Prince says, Taraji on upset alert. Taraji is getting up there. Yeah, I'm glad you said it, Mar the Prince. Taraji's 33. Sandoval's 26. Sandoval could crack. I'm not jumping on the upset bandwagon yet, but I am uploading my breakdown today, so you'll see. Hey, what fights are you planning on discussing on tomorrow's live so I can watch film? BUM Equipment, Japan. So our focal point of the Japanese card, the 3 world title fights, BUM Equipment in Japan. And then we start the lives with that, and then we move forward. Mert will get, yeah, I need to see more of Murtazaev. But stylistically with Boots, how he the thing about when people were saying that Boots would beat Fundora, and they're just saying it like recklessly, I don't know. There's things about Boots' defense that I don't like. How Boots does have a tendency, obviously, to he's a kind of a mix of like a reflex fighter. He has that a lot in his game. He switches stances a lot. He has been a lot more intentful when he switches stances. You know, up until Schofield fought Tevin Farmer, we didn't get to see a lot of Schofield, but my knock on Schofield going into the Farmer fight was he kind of switches stances just to be flashy. He'll switch stances and not throw, and it's like you're just trying to get sort of like colorful points. Boots switches with intent, and he's good at both sides. He keeps his hands down a lot, and Seb punches down due to his height and the physics of his style. I think Seb could crack. I think Seb could catch Boots. We have to see. Yeah, there's just a lot of, I don't know. I'm not too quick to just say Seb would lose to Boots Ennis. Yeah, people. We could already tell the narratives on fighters. Fundora is going to be one of these guys his entire career where people are going to doubt. And Boots is going to be one of these guys his entire career people are either going to overhype or hate on. But nobody really overhypes Seb. Morel, both have mental lapses in the ring. Interesting. Would you say Boot? Yeah. I don't know if it's a mental lapse. Like, I want to see Lubin fight. Erickson Lubin, nobody talks about Erickson Lubin. Lubin seems like he should be 44 years old. Erickson Lubin's only 29. I want to see Lubin fight. Wow. Vargas to knock out Higa. I'm gonna regret my pick then. It could happen, Max. 2002. People love Ituama versus White early. I've been seeing that knockdown going around lately. Kiza. Berlanga has to blame it on something. And it's not like Berlanga was doing okay until he wasn't doing okay. And then he decided to trade with him. I hope Erickson Lubin gets a world title shot 100%. Lubin, I brought this up before. I don't think anybody's fought more title eliminators than Erickson Lubin. Boxing fan, let's do it if they ever. I like these little side quest bets. I like your style, boxing fan. So did they sign it, Bachram and Lubin? Who you got for Wednesday? So right now, Pedro, or right now, chin up. My only prediction on tomorrow night's card is I'm taking Higa to beat Vargas. I'm uploading Rosa today, and I'm uploading Sandoval's fight. I don't think Bachram, to say Bachram would beat the shit out of Lubin, I don't know. Bachram's looked really average before, man. Bachram has looked very sort of soggy sometimes. He doesn't always look like the way, and I know he was fasting. I know Ramadan. But, you know, we didn't see a lot of him against Tim. And if you just run on a straight line in front of Murtazayev, and you're not, you know, the taller, longer guy, that's how you make Murtazayev look good. I think so. You know, I guess DJ, it's the only way I could put it. You know what I mean? And it's like people have dubbed Murtazayev the boogeyman, but I'm like, watch more of his tape. He kind of looks, sometimes he doesn't look the most durable. Jesus Ramos, man. Young kid, big puncher. I love when he fights. No one talks about Ramos. Ham Cam in the house. Swindle. See, new to the Discord, new to the private, new to the VIPs. Appreciate you. I get that. I get that. We know that Bachram did that to Zoo. Yeah. I don't like that fight. Adelaide versus Hergovich. who is the odds? Yeah, I was just gonna ask Havelock. What do you think of the Australian card tomorrow, Mason? Any good? I was just gonna ask. I'm gonna check that out, Havelock. I'm not getting any options to bet on it on my sports book, but I'll do my research. Where's that card? 15-2. I mean, it's a domestic cruiserweight matchup, bro. But you know the boys love action. We got a card in Australia tomorrow, in Brisbane. Who's on this card? Callum Peters. So if we could get money on Callum Peters by stoppage. Hunter, there's going to be knockdown. I'm not getting the odds, but yeah, Floyd Mason should win. Yeah, Callum Peters is a dog. He's a good boxer. Bum Equipment, I appreciate you, mate. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you. Did somebody compare Winky to Ramos? People forget how good Winky Wright was, mate. Winky was one of my... Dude, people forget... I don't know if that's a good comparison. Ramos needs to do more to compare... Yeah, dude, Winky was a dog, dude. Come on. What did Roy Jones Jr. say in his song? Y'all must have forgot. Yeah, Winky was. God damn it, dude. Winky Wright was good, man. We forget. There's so people kind of come and yeah. That's what I loved about him. You know, and man, I love a nice high guard, especially with the vision. His vision too. He was like. Damn, good call. Whoever just threw Winky in the chat, man. Wherever he's at, man. Winky was the man. Vernon Forrest. What did end? Somebody just asked me. Hand history vault. Rumors state Boacek is rematching Adams under. Dude, Brandon Adams, no one talks about, mate. I'd like to see. Brandon Adams never fights. I'm not sold on it. Every time I say I'm not sold on Moses, people call me out. I'm not sold on Moses either. So I kind of agree with. I'm not going to say he is overhyped. Actually, Moses is. He has a lot of hype for not really doing much yet. Yeah, I like the body work. I like body punchers. So we're talking about Winky and Ramos. Yeah, they're not going to feed Callum Walsh to some of the big boys. They're not going to do that. Pedro, now we're talking. Kiki Torres. Kiki Torres is my guy. It might be true because the undercard is not out yet. He's going to be a problem. Okay, I need to see more of him, Goat. I mean, how many total rounds has he fought? Did you guys see Ike Abeabuchi is fighting this weekend? Did anybody see this? No one's talking about it. Go to YouTube and watch Ike Abeabuchi versus David Tua. Ike is one of my favorites, dude. Abeabuchi. So Abeabuchi lost, went to prison for a crazy mental breakdown, moments of insanity in a Las Vegas hotel in the late 90s, early 2000s. But in his day, Ike Abeabuchi was a nightmare, dude. So watch Abeabuchi versus David Tua first, and then that same Abeabuchi is fighting this weekend. It's insane. Pull it up. Oh, David Tua. So Moses, yeah, he only has 44 rounds. Or no, he has... How many rounds does Moses have? He had 25 rounds. He's 12-0, 10 knockouts. I mean, Dylan, we'll see. Who's he fought? Dempsey McQueen? Yeah, you got it. I think Moses is that good that you kind of got to start testing. Dylan White's a good test. I agree, Jay. Tua is the greatest heavy. Yeah, I know. It's a shame. Dwight Muhammad Khalid passed away. Yep, yesterday. Hell of a fighter. I was just talking about, in my opinion, the greatest middleweight to never win a world title, Benny Briscoe. If you guys know anything about Benny Briscoe, the Bone Crusher, Philadelphia, one of the hardest hitting middleweights of all time. Benny Briscoe fought guys like Carlos Monzon. He fought guys like Emil Griffith. He fought Tony Mundine. And when you look at his record, Benny Briscoe, of all the guys he beat, never won a world title. One of my favorite all-time fighters from Philadelphia. He was a guy who fought in the 1970s. But I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to boxing. So, but you're right, David Tua, 100%, one of the best heavyweights to not win a world title. Who's fighting Saturday? Saturday, Goku is Oscar Duarte, the big card, Duarte versus Kenny Sims Jr. You'll put Big Bang Zhang over David Tua? I don't know about all that. Julius. August 16th, so that's in 2 weeks. Yeah, Zhang over 2 is he's out of his mind, dude. Okay. Sometimes I think you guys are just messing with me. Like some of these and if the boys are on the chat, Martha Prince, Goat, David, we don't usually get outlandish statements like that. So I don't know. And when we do, it's from Good, who Good's not on the chat. I think Good is Goku now. Yeah, they're Money Meech. Silk Sheets, right? Money Meech, Silk Sheets, for sure. Collectively, we're living in the... Rosa, people are high on Rosa. Boxing fan, my guy. I think there are 3... I just haven't seen enough of Eric Rosa. It's wild. Am I missing something, guys, on Eric Rosa? Eric Rosa only had a hand... Where's his amateur record at? He only has a few pro fights. I couldn't find a lot of amateur tape on him. I know, he a lot of hype, mini Pac-Man. What am I not seeing with Rosa? He looks very green to me. He looks like he has a lot of holes in his game. DJ, I agree with DJ. Okay. Because I'm seeing a lot of money coming in on Rosa. I don't see it. That's the one of the 3 world title fights. The Rosa fight is one of my locks for him to lose. I don't see him winning either. So if we're doing if we're doing method of it's not a lot of value, but take it whatever you want. Takami on the money line. I like a knockdown prop bet in Vargas versus Higa. Over 0.5 whenever we get it. And then this is super hot take, but what's up, TJ? TJ in the house, Chilltown. Yeah, I'm going to be tuning into your live with Gary later on today. He just hit me up. He said you're going to be live, so I'm looking forward to that one. Guys, if you're not following 3D Boxing, by the way, go on YouTube, follow Gary at 3D Boxing. Great channel and a lot of value. He's going live today with another wise boxing mind in the betting space, TJ, Chilltown. TJ, what are you thinking about Sandoval? TJ, because the tape I'm watching Sandoval, and I know Taraji is obviously a lot. Some people have Taraji in their pound for pound. I just don't like. Maybe I'm looking in too much about him being 33 and Sandoval being 26. Sandoval could crack. I think I'm trying to talk myself into an upset, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, TJ, I'm gonna share the link in my Discord too. So guys, if you want to join our Discord, the link's pinned in the comments. You see all the boys with the blue stars. You get access to, we got a lot of boxing heads in here who put their parlays up. It's an ongoing chat. But in our Discord, I'll share TJ and Gary's live stream. They're going live today. So DJs, yeah, I know. Don't they? Sandoval's defense is not trustworthy. Okay, so you think it's going to be a points, DJ? Green? Are we talking? Mate, yes. Sometimes I guess I could kind of talk myself into an upset. Taraji Takami locks. Yeah, I hit on the Carrington at plus 600 decision as well. Goku. So, Goku. There you go. We've seen eye to eye on a bet. Goku, that was my biggest hit this past weekend, was that plus 600 I got of Carrington by decision. Yeah, there's no locks in boxing. We know that. All right, everybody got different picks. This is why we love the chat. So it's going to come down to, you guys, do your research too. We could do, I can only do as much as I can. The one thing that you can expect from me is I'll never bullshit you. So nobody's 100% right. I'm always going to do my film study, and I give you my most authentic pick as I can. But this is why I love the chat, because there's some very wise boxing heads in this chat and our Discord. Shushu by decision. That was, yeah. I'm a big Shushu guy. It looks like Shushu's trying to set that fight up with Fulton. I hit on my other two method of victories was taking Jan Santana by decision and then Rohan Polanco by decision on the same ticket. I hit big on that as well. I got some good time. Yeah, TJ. The last, we'll say 3 or 4 Japanese cards, those are the ones I always hit on. Swindle, there's Australian fights tomorrow night too in Brisbane. You got to keep up, PJ. It's getting crazy out here. Sandoval might get stopped late. Yeah, the Japanese card's all action. It looked, TJ, for me, it looked like Carrington. I don't like saying when you know, one of my old boxing coaches would always say, you know, this guy's trying to get rounds in. It looks like he's getting rounds in, but he would say it kind of like as a derogatory statement to another gym's fighter. Like it was a statement that wasn't a positive thing. So when I was watching Carrington, I thought Carrington buzzed his opponent a couple times early. And it to me, it wasn't like Carrington wasn't trying to get rounds in. It was just like Carrington, you know, whenever there's a wounded animal, some of those wounded animals, you know, they become highly, highly dangerous. It just seems to me that level of his game isn't quite there yet. I think it's a confidence thing in those moments. So he still has some time. He's still developing. He is 28, 29 now, though. That, you know, he is next in line for a title shot. 126, Rafa Espinoza is an animal at 126. 6'1", puncher, especially how he goes about his business. He's probably one of my favorite fighters pound for pound in any division. I was high on Espinoza. The first Robesi fight, how it went down, the rematch against Robesi, how he just totally dismantled Edward Vasquez. And I know Vasquez isn't a household name, but people in the know, Vasquez, you know, is a formidable opponent, but just how Rafa just looked deliberate in his approach and how accurate and, you know, the punch angles he punches from with his frame. He is a nightmare for anybody at 26, 100%. I don't, and to say Shushu isn't ready for Espinosa, we must just say then Shushu's not that good, because it's not like Shushu's 28 years old, I think. So I mean, Shushu's probably, I think what we see in Carrington's style is what we're getting. It's not like a Brian Norman Jr., who every time you see Norman Jr., at least the last few fights, probably dating back to Santillan, Cuevas, Sasaki, you've seen him add a little elements to his game, whether it's his defensive responsibility or just even his punch placement. You've seen Norman Jr. at 24 add levels to his game, and his style is kind of molding into a sort of, you know, marauding, accurate puncher with, you know, good speed and decent pop. With Shushu Carrington, for my opinion at least, I think with his style, it's a developed style, and I don't think that style beats Espinosa. That's a good question. Yeah, Robesi's a dog, dude. Robesi's boxing, mate. If you guys are like boxing heads and, you know, like that side of the game, your guy said Robesi's better than, I mean, Robesi Ramirez, mate. How do we classify better? Would Robesi beat Carrington and would win more rounds? Who wins more rounds, right? That's what you got to ask yourself. I'm a fan of Tiger. He's an Ohio boy. So boxing fan. Delonte. Yeah, Robesi's a hell of a boxer. I didn't respond, Kiza. I know, Robesi's a beautiful boxer. I don't know what he was talking about there. He couldn't box amateurs. Wow, you don't think Robesi Ramirez is a good boxer? I don't know shit about boxing then, because like there's so many things that he does in a ring that super high level. This is definitely good. Goat, pull up the receipts. All right, Goku-san, who are your favorite boxers? Goku, let us know who your favorite boxers are. But didn't Goku say, who's the one in the chat that just said that Zhang, Big Bang Zhang, would beat David Tua? Ah. Yeah, that's a psychological thing, though, Julius. That's a psychological thing. That's here. When we're talking about a skill set, a craftsman. He did say that. Yeah, so this dude's trolling for sure. He said Big Bang Zhang would beat David Tua. And then he just said Robesi couldn't box. Wow, that's a wild statement. Yeah, he was a marauder. But like I said, guys, Ibeabuchi's fighting. Ibeabuchi's fighting this weekend. Or not this week. Ibeabuchi is fighting. Returns to the ring. He's fighting Danny Williams. So Ike Ibeabuchi is fighting. Give me moderator status so I can give it. Are we allowed to do that? I didn't even know how to do that. So Ike Ibeabuchi is fighting in 2 weeks. This against Danny Williams. Insane. And it's on pay-per-view. Oh God. in Nigeria. What? This news broke about 5 hours ago, guys. Carrington lost her out. Guys, I got to get to some uploads. I'm going to be going live one more time today. We're going to put Gary from 3D Boxing, his link. I'm going to put that on our post. Him and TJ are going live to talk about the Japanese card on Gary's channel. If you guys, TJ's Chilltown Boxing on social media. You know, the dude's a wizard. I mean, this guy picked... Dude, TJ, you're insane, mate. TJ picked the draw. He picked the draw and hit on the draw with Gucci Flores versus Jorge Chavez. That, in my head, is insane. Like, for me, somebody to actually bet heavy on a draw and then it take place and then have logic behind that, that's insane. So, TJ, amazing. Whenever you want to, like I told you, I emailed you. Whenever you want to go live on my channel, you let me know when you're ready. But I gotta wrap this up. And I'm going to be uploading the rest of the two other world title fights. I'm uploading today Kenshiro versus Sandoval, and then Rosa versus Yosuke. I'll be going live one more time today, and then tomorrow I'll be uploading Sims versus Duarte. Guys, there's a lot of money to make. Join our Discord. The link is pinned in the comment section below. All you boys who are asking about the Australian card tomorrow night, I'm going to put those parlays in the Discord as well. So, yeah, I appreciate the support here. Everybody who super chatted, everybody who liked the chat, everybody